Marc Hryhorskyj here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Horse Racing Marc. It's been a while since my latest YouTube video, but I'm back and I promise I'm going to be more active on this platform. This video is going to be dedicated to May's review and how the month has went so far for my private horse racing service. As you all know, I run a highly successful horse racing service. We have two tiers. We have the premium flagship service, £50 a month. There's 1,000 plus paying monthly clients in that service right now. Demand is high, as you imagine. I'm an industry professional, ex-Paddy per Betfair, freelance racing post. I have an unbeatable network of contacts, 1,400 points profit in 3 years. It's the perfect recipe for success. And we also have, and this is a new tier, Max Info, £95 a month. This is tailored towards higher staking punters. People are having 500 each way, 1,000 each way, and I do have a lot of clients who bet to those stakes. However, the numbers are limited in that group, and demand is high for the Max Info group as well, but there's just not enough liquidity in the market to have 1,000 clients in there. And I'm more than confident that I would have 1,000 clients in that group because demand is so high for my services. There's just not enough liquidity in the market. So that's why the numbers are limited. But rest assured, both premium and Max Info are both highly profitable long-term, okay? And that's what we're here for, long-term profit. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. And I must reiterate that. This service is designed for long-term profit. Value betting, backing the triers, okay? This service is not designed for people looking for instant gratifications. No favorites, no shorties, okay? And that's important. You must have your bankroll management in check, okay? And I know there's a lot of people that are watching my content thinking, should I join? Should I get involved? Now is the best time to get on board, okay? We're just getting into the flat season, the 2-year-olds, the 3-year-olds, the unraced, and we went close in May. And I'm going to get into that more, okay? And everything I say here is honest and transparent, okay? I'm that guy, okay? So let's get into it, right? We're going to start Thursday, May the 1st, all right? One selection, 8:45, Chelmsford, Crimson Lads. We got 22 to 1 this, right? SP, 12 to 1. This one finished 7th. We're never really in it, but we had huge value, okay? And I need you to think about this, right? If we consistently back 22 to 1 shots to go of 12 to 1, we're going to win long term, okay? And I know a lot of people get fixated on winners, 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 but I'm going to get more into that, okay? Friday, May the 2nd, all right? 7:55 Newcastle. Project GoFan, 7 to 1 each way. SP, 3 to 1. Massive value. This one finished 4th. Was probably given too much to do, in my opinion. We weren't beaten far. I think PG McDonald gave this one a little bit too much to do, and we just missed the places on this one. But again, massive value on this one. 7 to 1 advised. 1,000 plus pay monthly clients were on. SP 3 to 1. We just didn't get the rubber green on that one, all right? Then we move on to Saturday, May the 3rd. The 410 Utuxeter moves like Mason. 10 to 1 each way, SP 11 to 1. So this one drifted slightly and finished 7th. Was never really in contention, okay? Was never really put in the race, in my opinion. And I think this is definitely one for the notebook moving forward, okay? Wasn't given the most vigorous of ride, put it that way. Then we move on to Monday, May the 5th, okay? The 3-time Kempton. Isabel Castile, 16 to 1 advised each way. That was sent to 1,000 plus pay monthly clients. SP 17 to 2. This one finished 2nd. We're so unlucky. We got beat ahead. Heads up, heads down at Kempton. We're just on the inside. We were just denied at 16 to 1. We had huge value. The horse halved in price. The horse was trying. We just didn't get the rub of the green on that occasion, okay? But it happens. It's part of the game. We move on to Tuesday, May the 6th, all right? The 10 o'clock, the 8 o'clock, Wolverhampton, Dream Illusion, each way, 11 to 2, SP 9 to 2. We finished 2nd. And again, I thought we were a bit unlucky here. We had a claimer on board, the race is sewn up, and the jockey didn't see Billy Loughnane, eventual winner, come up the inside, and he's finished like a train, and we've just been caught close home. And what makes matters worse is Dream Illusion did go on to win next time out. So the information was good. We were just a bit unlucky, an inexperienced rider. It happens, okay, we finished 2nd. We were unlucky here. Again, we've not got the rub of the green. We had a 16 to 1, went down a neck, ahead, and then we've had a horse at 11 to 2, which should have won at Wolverhampton. But we move on, okay, it's about the long-term process. Wednesday, May the 7th. The 8-10 Fontwell, Masonbrook Meadow, 10 to 1 advised, SP 10 to 1, 8th. This one just couldn't get going, was outpaced throughout and was just too far back at Fontwell. And if they go a slow pace, it's difficult to pick them up, okay? Queen was never in contention, just needs a stronger gallop, this one. So that one was unplaced at 10 to 1. Then we go on to Thursday, May the 8th. 5:35 Tipperary, Mount Ferns. This one was advised at 8 to 1 each way, SP 15 to 2. This one was eventually pulled up. Made a terrible mistake at the first, then we made another terrible mistake at the second. And then after that, it was race over. We're under pressure, okay? Put a line through it. There's nothing we can do about it. Friday, May the 9th, the 220 Ascot. I got really good information on this horse. First time out for Richard Hughes. Billy Loughnane was on board this one. Saeed Hardspun, each way, 22 to 1 advised. There was a bit of 25s, but general 22 to 1 each way. SP 16 to 1. Sky did play 4 places on this, and we did finish 4th. We're beaten neck for 3rd. This one's a lovely horse, trained by Richard Hughes, and I've been told this horse was smart. Travelled well, and I do think it was a good maiden. So if you go back and look at the form of that Ascot run, I think a lot of winners will come out of it. Heads up, heads down. We're just getting some really bad variance in the first week, 2 weeks in May, similar to Isabel Castile and Dream Illusion that just went down. And what makes matters worse again is Saeed Hardspun, next time out, ran at Kempton and absolutely bolted up. So the information was very strong and very accurate. We just didn't get the rub of the green. We're beat a neck for a place. We're beat a length for win purposes as well. And on Friday, we also had in the 10 past 8 at Nottingham, we had Little Ted again, and we weren't getting anything. Advised 9 to 1 each way, SP 17 to 2. This one finished 5th. Just couldn't get a run under Joanna Mason. This thing doesn't have a lot of gears, and they needed to go hard. It was a slow pace, turned into a sprint. She's went up the inside. She's got denied. She's had to switch, and just one pace. We finished 5th. Running on, and the horse ran well considering the way the race unfolded, but again, weren't getting the rub of the green in the first week, 2 weeks of May. But it's part of the game. And what's important, right, is I know people can get frustrated with this, right? But this is the difference between winners and losers, okay? I mean, 99% of punters lose in this game. Only 1% win. I mean, weak hands will tilt, they'll fold after Isabel Castile gets beat 16 to 1. Start chasing, start doing this, their discipline goes, they stop backing value, and then their head goes and it's all over. I mean, these sort of runs are frustrating, okay? But it's only temporary. As I say, it's short-term pain for long-term profit and long-term game. And as my service has grown, I can't have weak hands in my service because demand is so high from my info and people wanting to get on board with my horse racing service that it's completely redundant for me to have a punter who has weak hands, who is just wanting to chase, just wants instant gratification of backing winners. There's no point in them taking a price from a genuine long-term client who's only looking for value, if you get what I mean, because it's completely redundant. That person may as well just leave straight away, and they're no good to me because regardless of how much value I give them and top-class information, they're never going to be disciplined. Bankroll management's all over the place. They're taking prices from legitimate clients. It's no good, okay? Going off on a bit of a tangent there, but it is important that you have realistic expectations inside my racing service and joining, okay? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is designed for long-term profit. You cannot tilt after a 25 to 1 shot gets beat. It's no good. It's a massive red flag. And this is a clear sign that you're emotional, you're on the chase, and you're a losing punter, okay? But back onto the results. Saturday, May the 10th, okay? We had 2 horses. The 135 Haydock, we had Bareback Jack advised 20 to 1. This one's went off 22 to 1, so drifted slightly, was absolutely cruising and was in contention for Donald McCain and Theo Gillard, but bled and weakened out of things very, very quickly and was pulled up. And we also had another horse, the 525 Leicester. I had really good information on this one, Diamond Alley, 22 to 1 each way, SP 9 to 1. So it's a huge gamble on this one. But we were just drawn on the wrong side of the track. It's absolutely insane. I got this from one of my very good contacts. This thing had shown a little home, ran in a barrier trial, so ticked all the boxes. But we're drawn 1 right next to the rail at Leicester, and usually that's where you want to be because they come stand side. But what happened was the ground was dead all the way up the straight, so they all came far side. We've shown a bit early, but because the ground's so dead, on the stand side rail, everything on the far side. It's like far side running on concrete, and then one's on stand side rail running on mud. You obviously want to be there. And every winner that meeting at Leicester came up the stand side rail. We're just unlucky. We're poorly drawn. 22 to 1 into 9 to 1. Just drawn on the wrong side of the track. But that's a nice horse, Diamond Alley. So get that one in the tracker, okay? And we'll win a race. We move on to Sunday, May the 11th, okay? Again, the 350 Ludlow. I was actually in Killarney at the time. I was at Killarney Racecourse when this ran. Waste Hatok, 13 to 2, advised each way, SP 8 to 1. So slightly drifted. This one finished second. Again, I was very keen throughout. It was a slowly run race. And the eventual winner, Zarkaran, just got first run on us. We had a ton of horse there, but the winner's just got first run. I think we went down about a length in the end. We finished second, okay? We just missed there, okay? We were quite unlucky. But only one horse finished second. The info was good. We just missed, all right? Then we go on to Monday, May the 12th. The 217 Cataract, Sweet Kiss, the East to be horse, 16 to 1 advised each way. SP 18 to 1. So drifted slightly again. We just couldn't get a run. And I did know the writing was on the wall very early with this one, because this one had to be midfield, because you don't, as we all know, you don't want to be too far back at Cataract. If you're too far back at Cataract, it's race over, okay? We just couldn't get a run. We ran into a wall of horses. David Allen's not hard on the horse. We finished 8th, okay? And the next one was the 9 o'clock Wolverhampton. We had Change of Fortune, 14 to 1 each way. This one was gambled in massively, SP 17 to 2. Similar to Sweet Kiss, just couldn't get a run. Couldn't get a run. Wall of horses, too far back. Williams was on board. Couldn't get a run. Finished 7th. Put a line through that. Tuesday, May the 13th, we had, again, another bit of top-class information from the Hughes Yard. 250 Chepstow, Our Cody, each way 11 to 2, SP 9 to 4. This one was gambled off the board. This is a really nice horse, unraced. My only concern was we were drawn on the wrong side of the track. This time, you wanted to be drawn stand side, because there's a massive bias at Chepstow. They call it the Golden Mile, and we were drawn on the far side. And I was worried. I know this thing's got a lot of gate speed. I was just worried that we'd get drawn in the middle of the track because the ground's dead. And you couldn't script this. We've got a lot of pace out the stall, but we're 3 wide, and there's 2 on the inside at the rail. We've had to do all our work first 3 furlongs. We're in the worst ground, the dead ground, and the favourite has got a dream run on the rail in behind the leaders, and the gap's opened up, and Holly Dawes won like she's on Frankel, okay? I think there's question marks about how strong the form is, especially with the winner. Our Cody is a really nice horse. We were just terribly drawn. We finished 4th. We were just beat for a place, okay? But that was sort of a trend of how things were going in the first week in May. A lot of crossbars. We're getting value. We just weren't getting paid, okay? But again, short-term pain for long-term gain, all right? We're going to Wednesday, May the 14th, okay? We had a horse at York, Maraba the Champ. We took 13 to 2 this one, SP 16 to 1. Not sure about this drift because the info was good. This one had every chance, was ridden prominently. Just a bit keen though. As soon as he pushed the button, went backwards very, very quickly. So finished out of the places. And then we go on to the 4 or 5 Yarmouth. Again, the way our luck was going the first 2 weeks. Style King advised 17 to 2. SP 13 to 2. So shortened up a little bit. We had value. Broke down. Missed. This horse had to lead or be handy. Missed the start by probably a length. Revved it up. And the horses broke down in the middle of the race and injured. So, yeah. Not the best first 2 weeks. We had a lot of value and a lot of crossbars and a lot of near misses. The variance was pretty insane. And the last horse we had as well on Wednesday was in the 650 Tipperary. We had the Anners Varan 14 to 1 each way, SP 8 to 1. This one was gambled off the board. The Annens Verman, I think that's how you pronounce it. Red and yellow colours were gambled off the boards. We're just too far back. Made a couple of mistakes. Finished 8th. It's a massive gamble. We just missed a place. Finished in a bunch. But again, we weren't getting anything in the first 2 weeks. But the key is to stay disciplined as well. And what I said earlier about weak hands, because demand is so high from my racing service, it's good that we have this kind of run because we can filter out and get the weak hands out. Because again, it's completely redundant for, how can I say this? Someone who's not in it for the long haul. They're just looking to gamble and just punt all the time. Weak hands, it's best to get them out. And we're only looking for long-term clients, people who take it seriously, who are in it for the long haul, okay? Who people actually genuinely want to win and they've got discipline, okay? And then we got to Friday, May the 16th, Newmarket, the 5:15. We had Sabramento 8-1 advised each way, SP 8-1. Didn't handle Newmarket whatsoever. Billy Locknan was on board this, finished 11th. You could tell after the furlong this horse hated undulations, and put a line through that. That horse away from Newmarket is one to keep on side. And we also had the 5:25 Kilbeggan on the Friday, Prove Yourself, advised 13-2 each way, SP 11-2. This one finished third, and I don't think this one was given the best ride, if I'm being honest with you. The jockey was very confident on this one, was travelling like an absolute dream turning in. He's just pushed the button too late. Maybe he thought that the leaders were going to stop, but there's a ton of horse there, and he's just stayed on like an absolute train. We're beat a length. I think if he pushes the button sooner, I think we win. But it is what it is. We move on, okay? Then we go on to Saturday, May the 17th, the 2 o'clock Newbury. Ernest Bloyfield, 12-1 advised each way, SP 9-1. So we got massive value. But again, William Buick got caught in a pocket. We've got out too late, and we've just been headed. We're beating neck for a place, 12-1, finished fourth. And then we had the 2:45 first, Digital, 12-1 each way, SP 10-1. This horse is very well handicapped, and got to the front, but just got taken on. It really did turn into an early duel. As a result, this horse hit the red zone, as they say, bled, and then was beat and was headed and weakened very, very quickly. But that's just the way our luck was going. And recently we had a horse at Kilbeggan that should have won and was given too much to do. We had a horse that was beaten neck for a place at 12s. We had a horse that bled after getting to the front. But listen, it's part of the game, okay? Then we got to Sunday, May the 18th. The 5:45 Newmarket. We had Good Banter, 9-1 each way, SP 11-1. So slightly drifted. This one was for Clive Cox and David Probert. We tracked the leader. We're in the right part of the track. And the leaders won eventually, and we finished fifth. We just got ran out of it. And then again, this just sort of summed up the run that we were getting at the moment, the bad variance we're getting at the moment. 6:45 Newmarket, She's the Duchess, 6-1 each way, SP 9-2. I mean, Billy Locknan has absolutely cruised up here, and we looked the winner 2 furlongs out. And honestly, I would say that we were a 5s on chance to hit the 3 places there, right? We just got headed and got beat a neck for a place. Just the way our luck's going at the moment. We got beat 2 lengths to the win. We're probably a 5s on chance to place 2 out. We just got beat for a place. That's just the way things were going. And then we go on to Monday, May the 19th. The 145 red car. We had information on a horse here, Dream Forever, from a smallish stable. We got 22-1 each way, SP 25-1, so slightly drifted. This one finished 9th. It was very green on debut. They were expecting a bigger run from this one, but just didn't run any race whatsoever and looked in trouble early on. Just didn't run its race. Put a line through that. That horse will improve for the run. And then we had another horse, the 6:30 Wolverhampton on the Monday, New York Bay. Again, massive gamble, 8-1 advice, 1,000 plus pay monthly clients were on this one. Each way, SP 100-30. And again, I'm going to be real with everyone. I thought Fred Daly gave this a good ride. He's absolutely cruising, because usually in these races they go hard, and I thought he was just going to pick up the pieces. But the winner's gone. The winner's gone round the bend. I think we were comfortably going to finish second, but the horse just didn't find a lot. And then we got ran out of it for a place, finished 5th by a 50-1 shot. Again, the way the run was going at that time was pretty insane. We got the value, we're backing trials, we just weren't getting paid, all right? And then we got on to Tuesday, May the 20th, okay? So this is when the drought ended, okay? And what you have to understand about this whole process is nothing changed in the selection process, the information, the way the horses were delivered. There was no chasing. I emphasize, like, when we're not getting the rub of the green, and this, if anybody is watching this video and is had this situation happen to them, right, I'm going to give you some free advice. When things aren't going your way, the last thing you should be doing is increasing the volume of bets, okay? Take a step back, half the stakes, and just wait till that's over, okay? It's part of the game. Everyone gets it, all right? But if you can get by it, stay in control, you just move forward. That's it, okay? And I'll be real with everyone. That was probably the worst sort of variance in crossbars that I've had in 2.5, 3 years. And if you're objective about it, and listen, I know people get frustrated when horses just miss the places by 1, get beat a neck here and there. But if you're objective about it and don't get emotional, you know all the horses are trying. We're just missing the places by 1. We're just not getting the rub of the green. But it's always going to turn, okay? 7-10 Huntington, Jeudidee, 10-1 advised each way, okay? They were very, very confident on this. 15-2 SP. We were told the odds-on favourite, the horse that could not get beat, of James Owen for Sam Twiston Davis. Shadows in the Sky for James Owens. Could not get beat. That's what we were... Everyone said this horse was a certainty, but we were told Jeudidee had a stone in hand. So we tanked it. And yeah, done the business. The drought was over. The monkey's off the back, okay? 1,000 plus pay monthly clients were on, okay? And this is where you need to stay strong, because after this, we've had a lot of places. We've had another winner as well. And I'm going to go into this, okay? So it's important that you stay strong during these times, because it will turn, but you need to stay disciplined. And then we get on to Wednesday, May the 21st, the 2:30 Air. Whisper with 9-1 each way, SP 9-1. She's run a big race. She was strongly fancied on debut at Southwell. She didn't handle the surface, but she's loomed up next to the eventual winner, underwriter trained by Archie Watson, who looks smart. And we're going better than this one. It's just the winner does look smart and does have an entry for the Coventry. I just think Whisperwood's still a bit green, a bit babyish, and I think if she can get a mark anywhere between 60, sort of mid-60s, I think that she should definitely be competitive of that. She just looks a bit babyish and probably needs a bit more time to grow up, a bit more racing. And we had one more horse on the Wednesday, May the 21st, 7 o'clock Brighton. Warm Glow, massive gamble, 13-2 each way, SP 7-2. This one had no form, but these are the ones we like, the ones with no form. Okay, huge gamble for the James Fanshawe yard. Info was strong at Brighton. I think the kid just got a bit lost in the middle of the track in the eventual winner. I think it was Richard Kingscote was on it. Was a bit more savvy, staying up the inside where the favourite ground was. But we're not beat far. We finished third, and we're probably beat a length. I think if the horse had stayed with the eventual winner, I think we finished second at least, okay? But listen, we take the place money, 13-2. And then we get on to Thursday, May the 22nd, with two horses here. The 317 Haydock, we had Volendam 10-1 advised each way, SP 8-1. This one finished third. We were told this horse would improve from a smaller stable, but it was just too far back. The leaders got away by about 15 lengths, and we managed to get the lead down to about 7-8 lengths in the end, but we're well clear of everything else. But we'll take the place money. The leaders got away from us though. And then we get into the 525 Haydock. I Vittori 8-1 advised each way, SP 17-2. This one finished 8th. We're in the perfect spot in the box seat behind the leader. We just couldn't get out. From turning in at Haydock, it's a long way home. We stayed in the same position the whole way, and everything got out, got a run up the inside and came past us. Couldn't get out. I think Clifford Lee, I don't think Clifford Lee could have done any more. And I do think there's question marks if the horse had the gears to get out of trouble as well. But visually, it looked like we were just unlucky. So maybe give that horse another chance. Might get dropped by the handicapper as well. And then we get on to Friday, May the 23rd. The 647 Pontefract, Lyrical Song. We're so unlucky here. Easterby horse. Told this horse is really nice horse. 22-1 advised, SP 22-1. Ran a massive race at Pontefract. We're absolutely flying up the inside at Ponty, and these race complexions can change very quickly, especially with unraced ones. And we just couldn't get a run. Absolutely insane. We got hampered inside the final furlong. The horse that finished third was running all over the place. We've nearly got put through the rail. So David Allen's had to put the brakes on. We're beat a length at 22-1. This is a really nice horse. Get it in the tracker, okay? And the other horse, absolute madness that day. The 17, I mean the 7 o'clock 17, Pontefract Keats House, 92 each way. Horse reared in the stalls. Absolute nuts. Got stuck in the stalls. Insane. The stewards didn't even declare us a non-runner. But thankfully, a majority of the bookmakers refunded this as a justice refund, or refunded it as a free bet. And I don't blame the bookmakers for this. This is the BHA's fault. I mean, this is draconian. They even called the stewards' inquiry to see if this horse was going to be a runner, Keats House. And then they came out 5 minutes later on Twitter and said, yeah, we've declared this horse a runner. Nothing to see here. This is absolutely insane, okay? But thankfully, the bookmakers, they're not going to rob punters with that. Let's be real, okay? And then we get on to the last day we're going to cover, Saturday, May the 24th, okay? We had 3 horses here. We had a 205 Goodwood, Sir Dinadan 10-1 each way, SP 12-1, so slightly drifted, but ran a massive race. Pat Dobbs gave this a beautiful ride from the front, and I thought we had this race in the bag, because the other Ralph Beckett runner, the favourite, I think it's Almarac, 11 to 10 favourite, was under pressure after furlong. And I'm thinking, we've got this race sewn up. But Goodwood's a funny one, isn't it? The race complexion can change very quickly, and races can change. It's like Kempton before they redone the surface. Horses in front with a furlong to go can still finish last. But yeah, we're very unlucky there. We finished second, 10 to 1 SP12s. We had a horse at the Curragh as well, the 525, Scots Key, 12 to 1 each way. Andy Slattery, SP11 to 1. This one finished 6, but no excuses. We beat 2 lengths in the end. We tracked the eventual winner. We just couldn't pick up. And the horse that was directly behind us finished third, I think, as well. So the horse had no excuses. Blanket finish. We just missed the places there. And to wrap things up, 750 Salisbury. Had a good bit of information here. Patsy Snugfit, 12 to 1 each way. SP 12 to 1. Top Contact, done the business, okay. This one was confident. He said this one would win. Jack Mitchell made all easily. Never seen another rival. Won easily for trainer Eve Johnson-Houghton. So we ended on a big one on the Saturday. Saturday winners. Might be our lucky day. But just as a whole, going through May, we had like the first week, 2 weeks, nothing changed in the process from the last week where we've had a lot of winners in places, for example. We just weren't getting the rub of the green. And when you go through them in chronological order, I mean, a lot of these horses were just missing. And that's what really hurt the bottom line in the first 2 weeks. But you have to look at things from a long-term perspective. April was a fantastic month. I think we're up about 50, 60 points in April. And gambling isn't linear, remember that. We're not going to have a steady 20 points, 20 points, 20 points. There's going to be times where we're up 50 points, 60 points, we're down 10, we're up 40, we're up 10. It happens, okay? But in a way, and again, I'm not trying to say this to wind people up or be controversial, having these sort of bad runs or bad variants when things aren't going your way are good, because you can get out the weak hands. And because my service and expertise are in such high demand, I can't have 2,000 paying monthly clients because there's just not enough liquidity in the market to manage the demand. And if we have a 25 to 1 shot that doesn't win, then, and if people are getting angry and tilt, it's good that they leave, because it means that a real genuine client can get the price, if you get me. But listen, we're going to win long term. That's what we're here for. We back the value, back the info. It's a perfect recipe, okay?
A few moments later.
So that wraps up the racing review. Profitable long term, but short term pain is good in some ways, okay? It gets rid of the weak hands. And as I said, there's no point in having somebody who's just looking for instant gratification taking a price from a legitimate long term client, okay? But that's over, okay? The May review is over. And now we move forward. We've got some big stuff coming up. I did put a message up in my private Telegram group about the race club. And I also put it out in February as well. So everyone's aware I am building a race club, a racing syndicate. And I did purchase a racehorse when I was over at Killarney. I wasn't over there just for pleasure. I was there for business. I did go to Killarney Racecourse, and I met some fans as well, which is good. A few people recognised me there as well. No hostiles, which is good, but we had some good crack, okay? And listen, if you've not been to Killarney, great racetrack. Certainly get yourself over there, okay? There's some nice fillies, certainly some nice fillies there. I'm not talking about the horses, but Galway is one of my favourites. Some very well-bred fillies in Galway. If you haven't been there, certainly would check it out. But listen, back onto the racing front. The racing club is going to happen. And I want to make some things clear, okay? So I'm not doing this for financial reasons, okay? I do okay financially. I have my personal betting. I have a highly successful racing service. I have other businesses as well, okay? I'm doing this because I want to get like-minded people like yourself, the viewer, involved in racing, okay? And a lot of people just don't know where to go, who to contact. It's not a very approachable sport, if you get what I mean. It's difficult to find an entry point. And there are some bad actors out there as well, like people who do micro shares, for example, something that doesn't really sit right with me. That's certainly not what I'm going to do. Like we as a business, and me personally, we're only looking for serious people. And obviously, we're not going to be asking for £5,000, £10,000 a share. That's not what we're going. It's not at that level, okay? Well, not yet anyway. But we're not going to be doing like 50,000 shares at £2 a pop, right? That's not what we're here for. And we're going to get a small group of people, like-minded people, and that could be people who are within my racing service, premium, flagship, or the Max Info, or a viewer who's just watching on the sidelines who wants to go racing and be part of a racing club. And one thing I want to do is get people to the race course. We can all meet each other. We can have a day out, and we can also have yard visits. We can meet the trainer, the jockey, and we can just meet, you know, like that's about networking as well. That's the main reason why I'm doing it. And again, I'm going to be real with everyone. I've been told by multiple people within the sport not to do it because it's just going to be a headache. It's going to be a ball ache. And a lot of them use the example of Basher Watts and the sort of abuse that he got on social media. Just think about that for a second. Someone is trying to get attention to the sport for the right reasons. I mean, greyhound racing, buying a greyhound racing, and orcs and knuckle draggers within greyhound racing, a horse that's on its knees, are trying to attack this person because he's trying to do something different and bring an audience to the sport and just focus on, yeah, but he's going to make $1,000, he's going to make $2,000. Think about that. It's clown world, you know, a sport that's dying. A guy's bringing a massive audience to the sport and you're trying to attack him. Good luck to greyhound racing, okay? If these people are so smart and so valuable to greyhound racing, why don't they do it? Because they can. And they're just jealous of other people's success. But anyway, same sort of reaction as well on the horse racing space, especially Twitter. We all know that's a toxic space. But I am going to do it. Fuck it. I don't care what people think. You should read that book, The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And when you do, your life gets better, okay? We are going to have the racing club. Priority will be for people who are in my premium flagship service and the Max Info group, though. I need to make that clear because the numbers will be limited. And we're not going to be having 50,000 people within this microshare. That's not what we're doing here, okay? And there's going to be some other things as well. Getting the phone. I thought I'd do a recap as well on the racing services, okay? So, as everyone knows, we've got the premium flagship service, and that's the one that's in the most demand, okay? We've got 1,000 plus paying monthly clients in there as time of recording today. It's in high demand. Obviously, you're going to have people who leave, who can't handle 25 to 1 shots or 16 to 1 shots not winning, who are just looking for a quick fix, unfortunately. But you're always going to get people like that within the gambling space, and it's good that they move on straight away. And again, it goes back to what I said earlier. It's good that we've had... I know a lot of people are going to like this, but it's good we've had a bit of crossbar, a bit of bad variance in the first week in May or first 2 weeks in May, because that gets out the people who are just going to lose long term anyway, and there's no point in them taking a price from a legitimate long term client, okay? And it's good for people to understand as well that it's not all roses in this game. Like, gambling isn't linear. It's not going to be like April, where we're going to have 50, 60 points profit, 12 massive winners in a 2 week period, 140 to 1 doubles. It's not going to happen all the time. Like, we could have 60 points profit in April. We could be down 20 points in May. We could be up 40 points here. You know, it isn't linear, but it's just about staying in control, backing the value, having your bankroll management in place, all right? Also, Max Info, as you know, is in high demand as well, the £95 a month group. That one is more tailored towards higher staking punters. People having... there's clients in there having 500 each way, a couple of grand each way on the horses. Like, there is clients there who are having grands on all my horses because they trust me. I'm an industry professional within the space. Ex-Paddy per Betfair, freelance racing post. I am an industry professional within the space, and people trust me, and they win handsomely, okay? The numbers are limited in there. For obvious reasons, there's just not enough liquidity on the sports books to manage the demand. Like, I can have 1,000 punters having 500 each way on a 20 to 1 shot. I mean, we'd be having Barney Corley style gambles every single day. And I know that people like the illusion of all that and the glamour, but it's just not going to happen, man. Like, 20 to 1 shots going off even money. There's just not enough liquidity there. Like, we could do it, but it's just not sustainable. That's why the numbers are limited. And there is a 1 out, 1 in policy in the Max Info group, okay? We try to have offer 1 or 2 spots every couple of days. And the link on the Telegram bot does say sold out, but there are days where it is live, okay? So if you're interested in joining, drop me a message and I'll let you know if the link's live, or just try it as well. If the link works, then it's live, okay, and you can get in. But rest assured, don't feel like you're missing out on anything if you're in the Max Info group, or you're thinking if you're in the premium group and you're thinking about going Max Info. Both groups are highly profitable. The Max Info group is just more tailored towards higher staking punters, and they do get some additional information, but there's no guarantee it's going to win, okay? And to wrap this video up, okay, so you no longer have to see my golden face, golden arms for the next half an hour, okay? It has been good to be in touch, okay? And I am going to be more active on the long format content with the reviews, and I'm going to do some educational stuff as well, like bankroll management, value betting. I'm going to talk about some of my big wins, my day-to-day as well. And again, people think my life's glamorous, but it is stressful, okay? Like, I never had grey hairs before I started doing this, all right? I'm telling you, it's not as glamorous as you think. And I'm going to show people the amount of work that goes in. Like, people might just think I'm opening up the Racing Post and going like this. Doesn't work like that, okay? Like, we're only having 1 or 2 bets a day, and they're running close in its value, okay? And we're 1,400 points profit in 3 years for a reason, all right? I'm digressing again, right? The last thing I was going to say is Royal Ascot is just around the corner, okay? And we've had one anti-post bet that has been sent out to the premium flagship service and the Max Info group. And this horse ran recently, and I think this horse is a lovely horse, and I think it will run close. The price is still available on this one as well, and I will be having additional anti-post bets for Royal Ascot. There's some big prices that I like, probably another 2 or 3 going up there. So if you want to get access to that, the link is in bio to join the premium flagship service. Say there's 1,000+ pay monthly clients in there right now. Okay, so demand is very high, and I'll also be having some big bets at Royal Ascot. People keep saying to me, when are you having your next Constitution Hill bet? Well, like, man, having 50 grand on a horse or 20 grand on a horse isn't something I'll do daily. Like, that's pretty crazy, okay? Because there's only so many markets, so many times a year you can get that money on. Because one, you have to be able to deposit the money into the account, which can be a ball ache with proof of funds and all that, AML, anti-money laundering. And there's only so many meetings around the year where bookmakers will take those sort of bets, but the limits are there. You know, like, I couldn't have 50 grand on a horse at Wolverhampton. Like, are you mad? Imagine, like, can you imagine that? Me trying to get 50 grand on a horse at Wolverhampton, just walking in with a fucking suitcase of cash. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? But there are some horses that I want to be taking on at Royal Ascot, okay? I know a lot of you, I've seen a lot of my recent TikTok and Instagram content focusing on Field of Gold, for example. And I think at the price, probably a bit short. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to lay the horse, but I think there's been a bit of an overreaction there because it's linked to Newmarket, where the horse had every chance, but favourite backers always have someone else to blame but themselves. Caden Schumacher. If the horse was good enough, it would have won. Had 3 furlongs to go by, wasn't good enough. We're length behind the winner. 3 furlongs. I think Colin Keane gave the winner a good ride. Field of Gold in the Irish Guineas at the Curragh was in the right spot, got first run. Everything on the inside of Field of Gold when he challenged at the furlong pole. No good. There's not a Group 1 horse on the inside. The only horse the horse had to beat was Cosmic Year, who was in behind. And I think that horse was probably got going too late. Just didn't have the gears. Probably be better over further. I don't think the form's that strong. I think 5 to 4 is short enough. But listen, I'm not going to give too much away. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do at Royal Ascot, but I have a sneaky feeling I'm probably going to have a big bet on. Maybe 20 grand, 30 grand, maybe. Maybe I'll do something crazy. Maybe I'll do a poll on some short price favourite. And whatever the poll is, I will either have 20 grand back or 20 grand lay. Maybe I'll do something crazy. But listen, it's been good to be back. May's review is over. Stay strong. Never be weak hands, okay? April was solid. May at the start was slow, but backed a couple of winners in the last 2 weeks. A ton of places. Got some real good stuff lined up. Life is good, okay? We're 1,400 points profit in 3 years. And this service, again, I must reiterate, is only designed for long-term profit, okay? If you're just looking for a get-quick-rich scheme or an instant gratification, this isn't for you, okay? But anyway, like this video, share, comment below, and make sure you subscribe as well, because I know a lot of you people haven't subscribed yet, okay? And this will get you all the notifications of my race club, my big bets at Royal Ascot, my next review, and I'm going to have some really solid educational stuff coming out. It's going to be free, and it's going to make you better punters as well. And if you want to join my racing service, link is below. Got some serious stuff lined up, premium flagship and the Max Info. Drop me a comment. I look forward to getting you on board, okay? Good luck. Hello, Brad.